What's going on, everyone? MikeO back and doing a live video here, doing a rummage, checking out this box of certified baseball autographs I have. I was just going through some things today, straightening stuff up, kind of reorganizing a little bit, putting some stuff away, and decided why not go live and browse through this box, take a little rummage through it, take a little look at it, browse through them, see what I have here. This is all going to be pack pulled certified baseball cards, all autographs. As you can see, some of them were redemptions. I don't think there's going to be anything like super high end in here, but could be some low level Hall of Famers, some star players, some good players, stuff like that. So it's going to browse through. Appreciate everyone checking out the video, tuning in live. I'll try and respond to some comments here and there, but going through it. Nothing for sale here, just going through some of the collection, seeing what's here. I would say a lot of it's from the last couple years. I haven't gone through this box in quite a while, so taking a little look at it. First here, this is from Gypsy Queen. I guess this is last year, Pat Vendette. He was actually, he threw with both hands, or both arms, I should say. So it's pretty cool. We got Ryan Dull. Actually got him TTM before. This is a Topps Chrome card. Here's a nice one here. Jim Abbott. This is just an awesome looking card. Love that 87 design. Love that it's on card. I think this was out of last year's Topps. So nice Jim Abbott. Here we go to some Bowman's Best. Will Craig. Anthony Banda. It's an old school Andy LaRoche out of Upper Deck. So as you can see with some of these minor league type of cards, guys don't necessarily make it. This guy, though, has become a hell of a pitcher. Josh Hader. So that's a nice one there. Not a first Bowman, I guess. He was probably in it the year before, but it's a pretty nice card. Here you go, Sean Casey. He's with MLB Network now. Had a nice career. Todd Walker. Some of these 90s guys. Bruce Chen, big-time prospect. Actually spent some time with the Phillies. Spent a lot of time in the NL East with the Braves, Phillies, Mets, Expos for a while as well. Russell Branyan. There you go. Big power threat. Hit a ton of home runs. Struck out a lot as well. What's up, Jonathan? Ben Davis. I know I picked this one up because he's actually an announcer for the Phillies now. Former #1 pick. Ben Davis. Here's Jeremy Giambi, brother of Jason. He spent a brief amount of time with the Phillies and then was with the A's for a while. Here's a nice Dave Stieb. Sweet card. Love that 90 Topps design. Love Archives autographs. Tony Womack. Oh, man, he's the guy you don't want to pull if you're buying a modern product. Clay Buchholz. There's a nice one. Trevor Story, rookie auto out of Topps Chrome. That was a redemption. That's what the sticker's still on it. Jervis Solarte. And we've got Ricky Nolasco. I'm a big fan of the Gypsy Queen autos. I think they look great. Pull another little stack out of here. Here's another Ben Davis. So, Topps retired. The Chrome autos are great. Bill Buckner. We've got an Aubrey Huff. He's a nice player. He's getting himself in trouble on Twitter nowadays. Here's a really sweet Tom Glavine at a high tech a few years ago. Got this one out of a group break. So, Hall of Famer. This is just a little rummage and showcase. No auction here. What's up, Broadcast? Thanks for tuning in. It's a nice John Neese. Juan Castro. The Broadcast beat me up quite a bit in a wrestling match. Go check out his channel to check it out. Nah, no spin class here, but I appreciate you rotating into the video there. Here's Josh Johnson. Stud pitcher for a few years, but injuries caught up with him. That's a nice card there. Oscar Gamble. It's another Archives auto. Michael Taylor. has not really lived up to what they had hoped he could be there in Washington, but he's still kicking it around there. Kevin Gossman. What's up, Glenn? Appreciate you tuning in. This is an awesome card. Stadium Club autos, another one. They're really cheap. Generally, you can pick these up, and they capture great moments, great photos. Livan Hernandez, he had a long career, and by the end of his career, a lot of people forgot what a good pitcher he was when he came into the league, but was an NLCS and World Series MVP back in '97. So that's a super sweet card. So if you're looking to add some cool autographs to your collection, I bet you could get this one on like ComC or eBay, less than $5, no doubt. Paul Quantrill, he was actually opening day starter for the Phils back in the day. Here's a nice one here. Topps Tribute Ozzie Smith. It's a little Hall of Fame action. Sweet Ozzie. Picked this one up from Bob Barth. At the airport on our way home from the National a couple years ago in Chicago. We were going through some stuff. All right, what do we got here coming up? Chad Quall, first Bowman auto. Avisel Garcia. Brett Phillips. I don't think he's really done a whole lot. He's one of those guys who's a prospect every year. There's going to be some super sweet shine here. This is Finest. A couple years ago, the 94-95 basketball autos. They were pretty tough pulls. Omar Vizquel. Here's a Noah Syndergaard orange. I want to say that one's to 25. Of course, it's covered up by that top sticker. There's another Noah Syndergaard. Just incredible shine. Love the 90s look of those Finest cards. Orange refractor. As you can see, did a lot of Finest a couple years ago. Anthony Rizzo. Pulled this one at the National. Corey Seager. This one I bought a box of, I guess it was High Tech and Bright Horizons, and it was a redemption, but I broke that box, I believe, on camera in Chicago in the hotel. So it's awesome. I like keeping cards like that. Just the memory of where you got it. That's one of the reasons breaking stuff can be fun. You got to break it responsibly, but you know, you like collecting stuff. I like buying singles, and that's a great way to buy stuff, but pulling some stuff's fun as well. Here's a nice Matt Olson green refractor auto. Love when the color auto matches the team colors. Here's another Glavine. John Smoltz. These were all out of the same group break, I remember. Smoltz, numbered to 25 out of High Tech. I had a few different teams, as you can see. John Gray, Rockies. I'm sure the Colorado kid in here, Mr. Egg. Enjoy the Trevor Story. Here's a Charlie Blackmon, another big Rockies guy. This was out of Topps. No, none of this stuff is for sale. I know a few people have asked. None of them will probably go to PSA either. At least I wouldn't anticipate such an occurrence. Just browsing through some stuff. I have a ton of stuff to go through. I just figured this was a good way to showcase stuff. I've been planning on doing showcase and kind of rummage videos, if you want to call them that, for a long time and just haven't gotten to it. So I had a few minutes, had this stuff pulled out. I figured I'd show it off. Here's a nice Bernie Williams. I'm sure Victor Negron would like that one quite a bit. Ivan Rodriguez, baseball collector. If he doesn't have that one, maybe you want to pick that one up. Anthony Rizzo. I think that's another Pudge. You got a couple of them. I think I was buying some of the. Well, obviously I was buying some of these. These weren't all pack pooled. But I was buying some back when these came out. Like I said, I think the print run on these, when you kind of calculate it, was more like, it was about 35. They had a few color variations. Steven Piscotty, Andres Galarraga, little Expos action. Here's a Carlos Delgado from Finest. Here's an orange Piscotty. Second orange Piscotty. Trevor Story. Another Story. It's Ken Giles from Gypsy Queen. Darnell Sweeney Leaf. I think I got this in a care package from someone. When the Phillies traded Chase Utley to the Dodgers, Darnell Sweeney's the prospect they got back. He played okay for those, that handful of games at the end of the season, and then he got traded in a separate deal and basically out of baseball now. Ronis Elias. Doesn't much matter, does it? We've got Torres here. He was a good player. Delabar. Sanchez. Gabby Sanchez. Man, forgot about him. These guys disappear out of the league so fast sometimes. Jeremy Hefner. I'm sure some of the guys in the chat like that Hefner name and some of what his great-grandpa brought to the world. Totally made up that story. We've got Alan Webster. At one point, I was picking up any Gypsy Queen autos when they were cheap. David Phelps. Lenny's Martin. Hecachaveria. Travis d'Arnaud, he actually just got designated for assignment by the Mets. d'Arnaud is he was a former Phillies prospect. He was traded to Toronto in the Roy Halladay trade, which obviously worked out great for the Phils. And then he was traded to the Mets in the R.A. Dickey trade. Brett Jackson. A.J. Ramos, he made an all-star team, so not terrible there. Ben Zobrist, World Series MVP. Mike McGill is probably watching this video. J.P. Arancibia. Mike Minor, he's actually crushing it this year. He's been pitching really well for the Rangers. Another Steve Delabar, former relief pitcher for the Blue Jays. There's a nice Brandon Crawford. But in a day and the age where everyone's chasing those $10,000 first Bowman autos and all the PSA 10 stuff, which I love all that stuff as well, sometimes it's fun to just go through some of the lower end stuff and see some of the cheap pickups you've picked up. Matt Adams, he's still with Washington, got some power. Almonte, gosh. These guys were all supposed to be good. That's the problem with all the prospecting going on now. Not many of these guys are going to become all-time greats, let alone Hall of Famers, let alone star players. So be careful with what you do spend your money on. And I'm not saying that prospecting can't be fun or isn't a way to collect, but it shouldn't be the only way. Here's DJ LeMahieu, nice player. I don't think there's any lastings millage. Will Rosario. But if you guys are just looking to pick up some cheaper autos, check out Gypsy Queen. Like I said, I mean, the star players in Gypsy Queen can get pretty pricey, but these other guys, they're not bad at all. I mean, $2-3. ComC is a good place to pick these up. Jose Quintana, he's had a nice career. David Phelps. Alex Wood. Is it Terrence Gore? Topps Chrome auto. Nick Martinez. Christian Walker. Christian Walker purple. Not that there's a big difference. By the way, I'm thinking the left side. They're all thicker cards, and they're all in like the little sleeve protectors, so I'm guessing they'll probably be a little better player-wise. Jason Rogers. Anyone know anything about Jason Rogers? Matt Clark. Tom Windle. He was a guy the Phillies picked up in the Jimmy Rollins trade. I think that's probably why I picked that card up. I'm sure it was only $1 or $2 back in the day. James Shields. Former ace of the Tampa Bay Rays. Sounds good, Ed. Tyler Duffy. Nice auto. Jimmy Paredes, Stadium Club. I love the 89 Topps. Love these autos. This is out of Archives. Archives has some great autograph cards. And again, cheap to pick up. Fernando Vina. If you guys aren't familiar with Fernando Vina, hit up YouTube later and search Fernando Vina, Albert Bell, Mark Pryor. Can't miss prospect that ended up missing, but they had some good times with him. He was good. Wade Davis on the mound at the end of the World Series a few years ago. Cool card. Cam Bedrosian, son of Steve Bedrosian. Brandon Finnegan, college to the World Series with the Kansas City Royals. What's up, Johan? It's another Brandon Finnegan. And another Brandon Finnegan. Again, I'll pick up any player in these 90 Topps design cards. I just think they look awesome. It's another Elias Reimer Liriano. Another Quintana. Good duplicates of some of these guys. Clay Buchholz. Anyone tell me how that says Clay Buchholz? Yikes. We're going to have a little run of these Signature Series cards from the mid-90s. I think I start picking up guys who used to play with the Phils for a while. Alex Arias. He spent a little time with the Phils. We got Bruce Ruffin. Yeah. Oh, man, Bruce Ruffin. Brian Anderson. What's up, Wyoming? Drew Stubbs. Kelly Stinnett. God, the Phillies picked him up at the trade deadline one year. Needless to say, it didn't help. Scott Spezio. Monster home run in the World Series for the Angels. Way back. What the heck year was that? 2002, maybe? When they played the Giants. Rico Brogna. Someone was asking for Rico Brogna, and I think they were being a wise ass. But here's a Rico Brogna. He had some good years with the Phillies. He was a fan favorite with the Mets. Rico. It's awesome. Here's a Mike Sweeney. You remember him more as a DH with the Royals, not necessarily a catcher. Jeff Jenkins. Shout out to the broadcast. I don't know for sure, but I got to think he likes himself some Jeff Jenkins. He was a long-standing Brewer. Dave Hollins. I was a huge Dave Hollins fan back in the day. I remember someone, I think it was like Johnny Callison maybe, former Phillies outfielder from the 60s. Back when I was a little kid, I was like, I don't know, 9, 10 years old. And I was at a card show, and they always had old former players signing autographs for free. And they asked me, who's your favorite player? And I said, Dave Hollins. They're like, he's a good guy to be your favorite player. Guy plays hard. He was hard-nosed. So that's a cool one there. That was his post-Phillies days. Ricky Jordan, huge prospect for the Phillies way back when, back in like 87, 88. It's awesome. Ricky Jordan. This is probably like his only Mariners card. He was with the Phillies, and then he had a brief stint with the Mariners and the Angels. But I'm sure Mark from Kentucky remembers Ricky Jordan. I feel like I heard him talk about him one time as a former prospect that didn't make it. Jeff Conine was a huge Conine fan as a kid. He was a nice player. Here's Cliff Lee. Cliff Lee had a nice time in Philadelphia. Helped the Phillies a lot in 09. It's a nice auto there. Ethan Martin. Very brief career with the Phillies. So that's a first Bowman Chrome auto. But unlike Wander Franco, it's only worth about $1. Jose Mesa. Indians fans probably don't have fond memories of him in the World Series in 97. As a Phillies fan, he was the all-time Phillies saves leader until Papelbon broke it. But he was hard to have confidence in back when he made every game interesting. There's Ben Revere. He was a Philly for a while. Here's Johnny Papelbon there. Not a fan favorite whatsoever in Philadelphia at all. I never saw a player who had as much success as he had and very little failure on the field just be so unpopular. What's up, Donnie? DJ LeMahieu again. That's a different card, though. Bo Burrows. This dude's been a prospect for the Tigers for, it seems like, about 15 years. I'm sure it's more like 4 years, but There's another Brandon Finnegan, Topps Chrome Auto. Jared Cozart, he's another former Phillies farmhand. And there goes the pile. What we got here? We got John Roush, USA Baseball card. He was a reliever with the Nationals for a while. He had a big I, the letter I tattooed on the back of his neck. There's another Wade Davis. There we go. I knew I had one of these somewhere. JT Realmuto. This is a card that used to probably be like $5, and I haven't looked at it lately, but at the beginning of this year, this card was like $20 or so. The 2016 Topps Finest autograph, JT Realmuto. So put that one aside. Here's Chris Archer. Unfortunately, the Pirates made that trade for him, gave up Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow. It hasn't worked out well yet. Here's a nice Rocco Baldelli, current manager of the Twins, former big-time prospect for the Rays. Actually saw him hit a home run in the World Series back in '08. So that's a cool card there. David Lowe, not a superstar. Here's a Danny Espinoza, another Gypsy Queen. Chris Heston, I believe he threw a no-hitter for the Giants. Pat Vendette again. Jordan Zimmerman, he had himself a nice career. Brandon Belt, longtime Giant. Scott Diamond, interesting autograph there. Another Gabby Sanchez. Josh Locke. Pretty sure I saw this guy shut out the Phillies a few times. Daniel Hudson. Sal Fasano. This is one of Wesker Griff's favorite players. He's a fan favorite. So if anyone comes across any Sal Fasano stuff, you know Wesker will have some interest in it. What's up, JT? Appreciate you stopping by. I need to ship out your package. Everyone else's is gone out already. Yours got a little delayed. Any questions, feel free to email me. Here's a nice Chris Heisey. Pete Incaviglia. That's an awesome card. Inky was a Philly back in '93. He's one of those guys who got drafted, never played in the minors, went right to the big leagues, had a lot of powerful success. There you go. Hit some home runs there. 30 home runs his rookie year. I don't even remember he was a Yankee for a few minutes. But Pete Incaviglia, it's an awesome card. Jeff Juden. Another Jeff Conine. This is a super sweet card. I really like this one, the Scott Hatteberg. If you guys have seen Moneyball, he's one of the characters in Moneyball, obviously a real player as well, and hit the big home run to kind of cap off that winning streak. And I just think this is an awesome card. I love the 89 Topps design, love the auto. The player is a great story, so this is an awesome card you can add to your collection for $3, $5, not much. So as fun as it is to collect the higher end stuff and all the expensive stuff, I mean, you can have a lot of fun in this hobby picking up cheaper stuff. And every now and then a guy like Christian Yelich is sitting in a box, an auto that you don't even realize you have. And I'm sure this card's gone up quite a bit. I mean, high tech's never one of the more expensive cards out there, but something tells me it's probably like $30 card or maybe more. Is Matt Shoemaker. He had a nice little career. Actually met him down in the Citizens Bank Park one time after his one of his first major league wins, and he was looking for a way to get out of the stadium. So that was pretty cool. Here you go, Vita Blue. It's an awesome card. Terry Pendleton. Man, he had a couple monster years there for the Braves back in their early days of contending. It's a cool card. Omar Dahl. Guy lost 20 games before. Part of the Kurt Schilling trade, which did not work out for the Phils. And another Paul Quantrill. Some of you guys who like the Bowman products, you might see Cal Quantrill. I'm pretty sure that's his son. Well, I actually had this little stack to go here. Jim Poole. Chuck McElroy, he was a Philly. These are all guys that used to be Phillies, but their cards here aren't as Phillies. Dennis Cook, Brian Hunter, John Lieber, Mark Parent. This dude was brutal. He was hitting like 045 in August one year, but he was their backup catcher. Kevin Gross somehow threw a no-hitter after the Phils got rid of him. And Jake Thompson, he was one of the pieces acquired for Cole Hamels that didn't work out. Some of the other guys did, but it's fun stuff. All right, what do we got here? We got Trevor Cahill. Here's a nice Al Leiter right as Mike Gutierrez stops by. Nice Yankees auto. It's another Matt Shoemaker. I like high-tech autos. I think they're nice, fairly affordable. Much cheaper product than stuff like Tier 1 here with Drew Smiley. It's another Thompson, random Peter Borges, Luke Hochaver, Andrew Bailey, Mike Sweeney, Marquise Grissom. So any 90s collectors or people who grew up in the 90s definitely remember Marquise Grissom. Zach Cozart, nice chrome auto. Elvis Andrus, it's not a bad one. He's a pretty good player. He's been putting up pretty decent numbers over the years. Jose Cruz Jr. Anyone remember back in 97? I'm sure some of you guys who opened 97 Bowman Chrome remember chasing the Jose Cruz Jr. rather than the Roy Halladay or Adrian Beltre, though Beltre was a big prospect, but Jose Cruz never really worked out the way some people thought he would. So you'll see some more Jose Cruz Jr.'s in the future with all the prospecting going on now. Yan Gomes. It's a nice card. Top Supreme. They made Supreme for a few years. Another Jared Cozart. Got a Chris Johnson. I was not a fan of that guy, but I have his auto nonetheless. Devin Travis. Jimmy Paredes. Anthony Alford. Bowman's best auto. Ben Davis. Another Jeff Conine. There's been a few of them. There's a super sweet Freddie Freeman, numbered to 25. I remember pulling that out of Topps Chrome. MLB debut autographs. They were pretty tough. And Max Kepler, blue auto rookie. So that's row one. Now, the only problem is getting them all back in that box, which shouldn't take long. But appreciate everyone for swinging by, checking out the video. Always fun to do some live videos that aren't sales as the lid falls on the floor. I should have a mail day or two coming up. I had some stuff come in, so those I'll record and post eventually, but wanted to share some of these. All right, let's get into the left row, and this looks like maybe some more current stuff or some nice stuff. But this is an Andrew Benintendi at a gallery. This was definitely a redemption from what I remember because it's on card. Most of them are sticker autos, so it's a sweet Benintendi. Andrew McCutchen. Actually picked this up at an auction, I think in the fall. Got it pretty cheap at a local auction, and now he's a Philly, so that's actually cool for the collection. I mean, McCutchen kind of lost pace with what he was doing for a while, so I'm sure his rookie autos aren't all that expensive, but still an all-time kind of pirate type of player and a really nice player overall. Sonny Gray. We've got a Alex Cobb. Chris Heisey. These are all tier 1. I think I bought these all singles cheap. Henderson Alvarez. Threw a no-hitter on the last day of the season a few years ago. Brett Oberholzer. He was a Philly for a few minutes. There's a nice Dave Stewart. Cool autograph. Great pitcher there for a while. Pitched with the A's during their World Series runs there in the 90s. Jimmy Paredes. We've got way too many Jimmy Paredes. Matt Harrison. Brandon Phillips, all-star player. Also made the last out. Roy Halladay's postseason no-hitter. Jason Mott was on the mound for the final out of the World Series before. I like picking up autos of guys like that who made, some kind of big impact. Carlos Baerga, phenomenal player in the 90s. Sean Doolittle is an all-star relief pitcher. Ken Griffey, not necessarily junior, but Ken Griffey was a good player as well. We got Tyson Ross, Jorge Alfaro, Richie Schaefer. There's a sweet tribute, James Shields. This is a really nice set. I've seen a few people put together this set, Foundation of Greatness. They are beautiful cards, and James Shields is by far the least expensive of the players in that set. Got a super heavy gold label coming up next. Awesome Jim Abbott. This thing weighs like a pound. Not a pound, but it's pretty damn thick. There we go. Blake Snell auto from 5-Star. I actually remember picking these 5-star up. I picked these all up in a lot. There were like a few different other ones. They were probably like $2 a piece. So it's a nice Blake Snell. There's a few gems mixed in. Ross Stripling. He's been all right. Got Alex Cobb. He was decent for a while. Then he got hit in the head with a line drive. And yeah, he hasn't been as good since. There's another Ross Stripling. Jose Barrios. There you go. He's another good pitcher. Carlos Rodon. Miguel Sano. He's one of the great mysteries. Just can't seem to figure it out, really. There's a Colin Ray. He's like a weird case. I think he was with the Padres, got traded to the Marlins, pitched in a game, but was hurt and got sent back to the Padres. I don't know. It was some kind of crazy scenario. Happened with him a few years ago. What's up, Dave's Midlife Card Crisis and Snoop12922. You've got Dave, be safe. I need that room at the National. You better be safe. Here's a nice Brandon Belt. Alcides Escobar. What's up, Sebastian? Neil Walker. I always like this set museum collection. I think the autos look great. CJ Wilson. This guy probably made $100 million in his career to be okay. Guys, check out Snoop's most recent episode of Around the Hobby. Fun video. Sebastian Select, check out his channel as well, and everyone who's in here. Just click on each other's channels. Luis Gonzalez, World Series hero. Here you go, David Cone. Had a great career. I'm sure Mike Gutierrez is a fan. Jose Peraza, rookie auto. Looks like a black frame from Gold Label. AJ Pollock would be a hell of a player if he could ever stay healthy. This guy can never, ever stay healthy. Levon Hernandez, another Levon. Wally Joyner. He was a good player. Wally Joyner. That's awesome. Greg Holland. He was very tough, very good for a while. But the way relievers' careers go, they are not lengthy. There's a nice Andrew Jones. Big fan of all these products. There's a Billy Butler. It's a Corey Kluber from Strata. I think they only made this product for like a year or two. But Kluber's good pitcher. There's a Carlos Santana. Another Brandon Belt. Devin Mesoraco. There's a nice one. George Springer, Simply Supreme, numbered to 50. Obviously, he's had a phenomenal career. World Series MVP. So, got a Brandon Moss, David Eckstein. Anyone know when Tribute comes out? I know Tier 1 just got released, and I can't break Tier 1. I would buy some singles maybe. I would love to take a chance at a bat knob, but it's just so tough. Greg Vaughn. He had like 50 home runs one year. Adam Lind. Brandon Geyer. Cliff Floyd. He's with MLB Network now too, right? Christian Walker. He's a one of those guys that just never made it. Tyler Chatwood. Triple Threads on-card auto with some relic to it. Yonder Alonso. Russell Iglesias. That's a cool card. Henry Owens. This guy was in like every product a few years ago and just Billy Wagner. Here's a nice Buster Posey out of Tribute. I don't know. The gold autos are always good pulls, but I don't know. I mean, that's obviously an awesome card, and it's cool to have, and it's my only Buster Posey autograph, but I don't think the gold or silver, honestly, ever look as good as the designs with the blue autos. They got to be a sharper. Here's an Adam Jones. This is out of, what the heck is this called? The, what the hell? They only made it 1 year. It was way too expensive. I can't even see the thing. I forget what the heck they even called that set, but it was super, super pricey. Here's a John Smoltz. Yeah, mint. I was chasing Chase Utley. There was like 4 cards, pieces of his gloves or something, but I never even saw one. This John Smoltz here, I actually won this from one of the old, I don't remember if it was the Tops podcast or someone else. It was a podcast that they don't even make anymore. And I used to listen to it at work, and they had some contest thing. I sent the thing in and ended up winning it. So that's a cool Hall of Fame auto. Orlando Hernandez had a nice career. El Duque. Will Myers, big prospect. Obviously, he had a nice career. Vinny Castilla, nice run with the Rockies. Michael Wacha. There you go, a little Hall of Fame action there. Vladimir Guerrero, 11 of 50. The Guerrero who's accomplished something. It's easy to bust on Junior there, and I like him, and I wish him well, but it's just, I think it's the hobby that has driven his stuff just insane. It's a nice Paul Molitor. So we got some Hall of Famers here. Paul Goldschmidt. I think Goldschmidt's stuff's actually gone up a little bit. At one point, his stuff was just crazy low, is what I was meaning to say. Those are ones we looked at already. All right, so one last little stack. Got a Cole Hamels Texas Rangers card. There's another Paul Molitor at a 5-star. Sweet card. Dennis Eckersley. Paul O'Neill. Fabulous player. Al Leiter. My hands are kind of burning holding a Mets card in my hand, but Leiter was good. Leiter was good player. Sean Green. He had a nice run there for a while. Got Omar Vizquel, potential future Hall of Famer. We'll see. Luis Gonzalez. Jeter and Eckersley both do have nice autos, nice signatures. Mariano Rivera does a good job as well. It's Jim Abbott, Gypsy Queen. Darren Erstad, this dude was an awesome player. Helped the Angels win a World Series. He played so hard, he wore his body out. He really wore himself out and kind of didn't have a super lengthy career, but I always liked Erstad. I know Dustin Bellinger is an Erstad fan. Jeff Burrows is a cool Archives auto. And final two cards are both from Topps Retired. These autos are awesome. I know Dave's Midlife Card Crisis is a fan of them. Got Ron Kittle and Wally Joyner. You can pick these up. The common guys like this you can get pretty cheap. Some of the Hall of Fame ones are a little expensive, but some of the lower end guys are not too expensive. So hopefully you guys enjoyed taking a look at some of the cards in the collection. Hopefully you enjoyed the rummage, the browse through some of these autos. I'll hopefully be able to do more of these in the future. I have just tons of slab stuff and non-slab stuff, autos, non-autos, all sorts of cool stuff that I'd like to look through. And, one of the things I think is that, maybe you saw some stuff that you can use in your collection that you can pick up, whether it's a player or a design, something you like. But here's some of the highlights I put aside. Christian Yelich, that JT Realmuto, Freddie Freeman, Max Kepler. Because I know I see it in people's videos sometimes. I'll see a card and I'll just look up and be like, hey, did they make a Philly or did they make this player and that design, that product? So there's definitely some cool stuff to look up. You start to forget about some of these old 5-star products or just different stuff, some of the 90s stuff. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of old school stuff in here, but hopefully it helps someone out. I definitely recommend this. These cards are cool. These tribute. So, all right, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone who checked out the video live or archived, because I'll be archiving it for sure. Appreciate it. Check out everyone else's channels. Let me know what you guys